Hey there, good morning on the farm. I just figured I'd do a little update video, let you know what's going on. Hey Tilly. Tilly's still here. She is, just moved her into new pasture. She looks great, but she still has mastitis whenever I test her. So poor Tilly is most likely heading to provide for our family in a different way. And unfortunately, that's like some of the hard farm decisions we've dried her off for the most part, but the last few times I've tested her for mastitis, she still has it. So she's been tested for like, oh gosh, 6 months, 7 months. 7 months we've been battling chronic mastitis with her. So for 7 months, our family didn't get any milk from her. And she just couldn't get over it. So we've tried like everything. Her condition is great. She otherwise is healthy, happy, as happy as cows can be. And she's been very well loved. We've tried to take care of her the best we can, but it looks like she may have come to us with a subclinical case of mastitis and just was not able to get rid of it. And as soon as she weaned her calf, it just came back, which is not uncommon with a case like that. So we would ask a lot more questions in the future and probably do more tests. We're very grateful that she gave us Molly. Molly's another A2 Jersey, and she's doing really well. But poor Tilly, she's been separate from the rest of the herd for all of this time, and I would be afraid to put her back in because we have other cows that are calving soon, and so we don't want to take the chance of her transferring that to them. So like, see how she's got flies? So if the flies get on her teats and go on to the teats of the other cows, the type of mastitis she has can sometimes be transferred that way. Or if like another calf were to slip under like the electric fence wire, which does happen when you have new babies, and happen to nurse on her and pick it up and then bring it back to its mom, they could get it as well. So we don't want to take the chance of passing that on to any of the others. And mastitis just means like an infection or inflammation in her udder, but there's different things that cause it, and the bacteria that causes hers is very, very hard to get rid of. And so we're really bummed about it because we love her, even though she's a sassy Jersey, and she's not bred right now. So she had been bred 2 times via AI, artificial insemination, and then once we put her in with our pureblood bull, our full blood South Pole bull, and we think she was like early bred and then lost that calf when she was sick. So yeah, it's just unfortunate. She's gonna end up helping our family in other ways, but for right now she's just costing the family a lot of money to try to continue to get her better when she very well may not get better, or if she does get better, she could just get sick again as soon as she has another calf. And so even if we were able to get her better, she may not stay better. So that's the situation with Tilly. We're bummed, but we have done our best. And then Mr. Bosco. This is Bosco here. This is our puppy. Bosco is, how old are you now, buddy? 8 months old. And he is enormous. He's probably somewhere around 80, 90 pounds already. And he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He is a good boy. You sit. He's so handsome. Such a good boy. He still needs some training because he's still young and goofy. And he's going to be so big. So we want to spend some time working on more training with him. In the meantime, he's been doing so well. Are you a good boy? Good boy. Good boy. And he's out here with our rams right now. Good boy. Yeah, I love you too. And so our rams have been separated from our ewes. Of course, they're like right over there right now. And so these are our main ram is here in the middle. That's Buster. He's going to be for sale, and we're selling him as a proven ram. And then these are some of his boys. This is one of the twins. So this little guy came from our first mama. She was a first-time mom, and she had twins. Came from Goliatha, Joseph's name for his sheep, because she was so big. And so this is Buster. He is a Katahdin Florida cracker mix. Florida crackers are known for like their extreme heat tolerance and good temperance in different types of weather. They're very hardy. He came from a herd. This one's his twin brother, and this one is a different ram that came from one of a different mom. Looks very Katahdin. Anyhow, we chose this ram because he is a hair sheep. Hair sheep are supposed to shed off their coat by themselves, and he did that beautifully. So we wanted to breed those good genetics in. He has really good hooves. He never should need hoof trimming. He's never shown any sight of parasite load at all whenever we've checked him. So he's never been wormed, never received any sort of outside intervention at all, and they don't receive any grain. So they keep their condition, as you can see, very well on pasture only. So they look great. He also has a really gentle disposition, and he's naturally polled, so see, he doesn't grow horns, so we don't have to disbud them. This guy is from another mom. He was a single-born ram to a first-time mom, and then this one and this guy that looks a lot like his dad are both twins to a first-time mom. So they're all going to be for sale, and they're great. They also have very good fertility genetics, and they will all be for sale. And our hope is to use the selling of him to pay for a new ram like him to bring to our herd, our flock rather, and bring those great genetics in again. And then to sell these three to pay for the cost of, to help offset the cost of two of the sheep that we have to bring to the processor. They never were able to get bred. They were infertile, and so they're gonna also feed our family with some good, clean, pasture-raised meat. And I love that we're able to give them this life, which is just the best life that we can. So they're rotated on pasture. Hey there, bud. He's been great. Just a really good ram. We're very pleased with him. If we didn't have a small flock and we didn't want him to breed our daughters, we would definitely keep him to breed his daughters. We wouldn't get rid of him because he's awesome. And the reason that we chose this breed is because a lot of people think of St. Croix for the parasite resistance, which is true, but I guess the carcass is different, like when you're raising them for meat sheep. And so they have a little bit less of a bony carcass than the St. Croix. They've been great. They're all trained to electric wire. They're exposed to livestock guardian dogs. They're awesome. So that's what we have going on with our sheep and our rams. And good boy Bosco. And Tilly. Hey, Miss Tilly. You're a good girl. Tilly's a good cow. She's had a great life here. Yep. You're gonna say hi to everybody? So Sean's doing this all the time. He's getting wood prepared for the winter. He's getting some kindling. This is some old wood that we had, and he's been breaking up into kindling. He's been doing a great job getting everything ready for winter time. Yeah. You wanna go take a walk?
Let's do it.
So, this is our tractor that we were so blessed with. Some wonderful people gave it to us, and we've been so appreciative. Why don't you show them?
Yeah, you.
Okay, so this is, we're walking down the area that our chicken tractors have been, and so you can kind of see now a little bit further. And how long ago were they here? Maybe a month ago?
Yeah.
About a month ago. So Sean's been planting. This is kind of an overabundance of radishes and turnips. But he's been planting behind our chicken tractors, and you can see
clover, fescue.
Yep, there's a lot of clover, fescue, just some turnips, radishes. And so he would, just as he moved the chicken tractor forward, he'd just have a bucket of seed, and he'd like hand scatter some of it behind the tractors. Yeah, it looks pretty rich. So that's been great. That's worked out really good, just to reseed behind them. So you can see the chicken tractors are up ahead there. I'll take you for a walk to see how that's going. And then this is where our cows are right now. They're all laying down, and that's actually a good sign. It means they're getting plenty of food. So they're all laying down. We still have our two younger cows. This is Tilly's baby Molly, and this is Buddy, who was our steer. They're in the paddock that's in front of the bigger girls because they don't eat as much. And then these three are our South Poles that are behind them, and they are actually due to calve. Where are we? Like anywhere between 2 weeks from now to around Thanksgiving. So somewhere between Halloween and Thanksgiving, they should be calving, and then we'll let you in on that when they have their babies. But they're looking fantastic. They look so good. And they're just out entirely on pasture. They get moved every day. And they have a free choice mineral tub that we put underneath the wire, so they all have access to it, and that has free choice loose minerals and Redmond salt in it right now. So this is the area that they've all grazed through, and they're doing great. We're trying to let them really get this down, and then hopefully some of our cool season grasses will come up and recover a little bit before the winter. But if not, we're gonna roll out some hay. But this is our this is all the area that Sean reseeded behind the chicken tractor. So you can see this area in the middle is where the 2 tractors were. And this is the center part. So it kind of gives you a sense of where they were. And they were only here like maybe a week and a half ago. Couple weeks, you think?
Yeah.
On this area. Well, not bad for 2 weeks later. So they're coming back now. They're on their way back to our house. So they'll come the same way, like all along this area, all the way up towards the house. And then as they get towards the house, it'll be getting colder. So we'll probably park them in our garden back to back. So the front doors face out on either end. And we'll winterize them and use a deep litter method in there for the winter. And then by putting shavings in there, and that will help to give us some really fertile soil for our garden next year. So you can see this is where they've turned and they're on their way back. This is what it looks like right after they leave. Right after they leave an area. And you can see how it just gets better and better as you're getting back home where they've been. So they are still in the closed chicken tractors because we've had a fox problem. So we want to make sure that they're not getting picked off by foxes. So these are our older flock of guinea hens and chickens. And then, sorry, I tripped. And then this is our younger flock. So we raised all these from eggs. And they're doing really good. They all are really healthy and they look great. I know, there's some roosters. We have a bit of a rooster abundance, so at some point we have to get rid of about 10 roosters and just have a processing day and get ready to make some soups. So we like to keep the sheep closer behind the cows, but sometimes, you know, that's not the way it works. It's not the way it always works out with timing. So, right?
Right.
So this is where our sheep are. Just through a wooded area. And they're still coming behind our cows. And fertilizing that. And they'll just kind of get everything down lower before and those are certain. We normally don't like to graze down that low, but we have some undesirable species of plants in our pasture that we want to kind of eradicate, and so the sheep are helping with that. So this is where the cows have already been. And we recently separated our girls, so they're all up here now. We didn't get a chance to shear the ones that hadn't shut out completely before we felt like the weather was turning too much to, like, now we feel like it's too late. We don't want to shut them down this close to winter. So she and she, these are the two that are going to be going to the processor because they just seem like they're not breeding for some reason. And then this is the one that had that issue where she ended up losing the hair on her back, and she's grown it all back. This is Scooter's baby. Scooter, her baby. So we now have 13 in our main flock. And these are all the babies that are getting bigger. And so they should be ready to breed for our next breeding season. And we tagged everybody's ears. Left for ladies, right for rams. So they're all tagged. So we know that now we'll be able to keep better records of our girls. We didn't tag the originals because we know that those will be our originals, and after a while we'll end up actually weeding them out of our flock. We think some of them are actually bred, and they will be possibly giving us some lambs in a couple of weeks, potentially. Hey there, Scooter. Hi there, little Miss Problem Causer. We love you, though. Is that your mom? You have just as much curiosity as your mom, little Miss S'mores? She does. She looks a lot like her dad. Everybody's doing great here. They all look great. They're all well fed. They all are doing a wonderful job. And they also are grass only. And so our original girls are Katahdin Dorper. And now the younger ones have Florida Cracker in them. And you can see Maisie's back there. She's in the paddock right next to them, and she can be in there with them. We keep her over there because it's easier to feed her, and then the sheep don't eat her food. So she still keeps everybody safe, and she's really grown into a beautiful livestock guardian dog. So they'll come through the woods to where the cows are right now, and then they should be lambing when they're on the other side. So we should be able to keep a close eye on all the new lambs if we get any, and then we'll be breeding the other ones back in December for spring-born lambs. Right, Miss S'mores? Right? Are we going to get any other cuties that look like you? I love the color of her. So we put collars on everyone, checked them all. They all looked great. And the pastures look great. So our goal was always to first provide food for our family. So the farm was to provide food for our family first and provide for the needs of us, give us good, clean, pasture-raised organic meat. And then the next goal was to help the animals on the farm to support the farm itself. So the sheep are here because the goal with them is that within the next couple of years we want to grow our flock to the point where when we sell our lambs every year, our sheep every year, that they end up bringing enough onto the farm to help support the needs of like all the food for the animals on the farm, the chickens, if we have a dairy cow, our hay, whatever other needs, minerals, all the expenses that go into replacing fences, stuff like that, on the farm. And so the sheep are here to help support the needs of the farm that way, so that that's not coming out of our other income. And then beyond that, we want to grow the farm to the point where the animals will then create a profit for the farm, where we would be able to raise pasture raised, as organically produced as possible, clean meat for the community around us or for people back home. So we could take orders from where we lived before, and when we travel back home, bring it back with us. So that is the goal, and we feel like at a year and 9 months in, that we are, or a year and 10 months in, that we are accomplishing that. And it's been through school of hard knocks sometimes, so we've definitely learned a lot through the whole process, including about, all the unexpected farm expenses and home expenses. And so that's where we are at right now. We also have a number of chickens in our main coop. Hey, Miss Maisie. You good girl. She's so good. We have a number of chickens and guinea hens that are in our main coop, and we sell eggs from that to a local health food store. So all of our eggs are all pasture raised, organic, non-GMO feed. They're awesome, and so they always provide food for our family. And we still have a couple of pigs as well that at any point are ready to be processed as well. We could breed them, but we kind of have a lot of other stuff going on right now. We don't want to do that if we're not able to do it well. You see Gus? She's looking at her buddy because Sean's over here. He's over there with Gus, and Gus is keeping him company. So this is a big, actually, project for us this year, is that this fence line that goes all the way back to the house needs to be reinforced, because our dogs and our sheep get underneath it, and it needs to be redone so that it can be electrified and it can keep them in better. So that's a big project. And then also just some other fencing projects. Those will be big ones this year for our farm. Hey, Gussie. And we want to work on finishing our gardens, fencing in our gardens. Our gardens probably would have been a lot more prolific this year, but because we didn't have proper fencing, we lost a lot of our harvest to our chickens. And so, hey Gus, how you doing, buddy? He's a good boy. Gus is a bit of a wandering man. He knows where his farm is. He loves his farm, but he also loves to visit the neighbors. And so that's the other reason that we want to get the fences up. We have wonderful, wonderful neighbors who have been so good and patient with us and him, and they love him, but he needs to stay here. They've done a great job at keeping coyotes and other things off of our land. So that's been great. And we're so grateful for the dogs. But raising 3 young livestock guardian dogs all within the same year as other dogs, and 6 kids, and homeschooling and farming and learning how to raise all different livestock, it's been a very busy year while we were doing house repairs and putting in a new well and new septic. We rewired the whole house. We have to replumb it. We had structural issues, and it's been very busy and expensive. So we made the decision recently. I recently started reworking a side business that I did before I moved. So I was a network marketer for Arbonne International, and I had kind of put that aside while I was in the business of starting a farm. And recently we decided to pick that back up again. So I've been working that and growing that business, which has been such a blessing for our family. And then I also went back to work outside the house for the first time in 12 years. And so to just sort of help make ends meet while from all the unexpected expenses that we had and get us back on track. And then eventually I'll come back home. And so what I do every day is we work the farm in the morning like this and get everything done on the farm that we can. Whatever I can't do with Sean, he does after I leave. And then I homeschool all the kids until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And whatever I'm able to do for food prep and getting things ready for him for the rest of the meals of the day or the week, I do that as well. And then I go to work from 2 to 11 and I come home somewhere close to midnight, right before midnight, and then I get up and do it again. So it's been very busy season, but we're making it work and plugging ahead. And so we're so grateful for the food and resources that our farm provides for our family. Hey Maisie, I'm a good girl. Yeah, you're being a good girl. Yes, you are. I'm proud of you. You're doing so good. You're doing so good. Get down. Get down. I know. So the dogs always, when they're loose, they greet me. When I come home really late at night, they always meet me in the driveway and they're like, "Where have you been? We've all missed you." And they tell me, Gus is very vocal. He always tells me about his day. He goes on and on and on about everything that happened that day. Right? Is that what you do? You good girl? Yeah. So, anyhow, so that's kind of what we have going on. We have, and we've been very lucky to have a raw milk dairy down the street from us, where a friend of ours raises beautiful cows, takes very, very good care of them. And then, so we're able to get our milk from there while we're waiting to breed our young heifer, Tilly's daughter. And so next year, around this time, I should have, she shall have calved and I'll have another milk cow. But so it's good because we have so many things going on outside of the house that actually having a milk cow right now would have been really difficult, but we've tried and tried and tried to get her better and we cannot. So we've definitely learned a lot this year through our experiences and trial and error. And so some of it is like you just have to do it to learn what works, and then you just figure out solutions to the problems, and sometimes those things change. So you can see Sean setting up the fence behind me. So we do this every day, or he does this usually now every day when I'm gone. Hey. So we set up the new electric fence, and then once it's all set up, we just let them in. And everybody's doing good. The kids are doing great. They just had kind of a light school day today. So they're finishing up school and they're about to go to a picnic, and then I'm about to go to work. And so everybody, this is how we make a farm work while somebody is working outside of the home, and we've got a bunch of little kids and homeschooling. So this is very typical, me talking and Sean behind the scenes doing the real work.
Yeah.
He's the unsung hero right here. We've also had wonderful company visiting. Sean's best friend from for many, many years has been visiting, and he has been an enormous help to Sean, helping him get things done here on the farm. And then he actually rebuilt like a bunch of storage in our workshop that was sort of full of stuff from when we moved, because we've had so many home repairs, we haven't been able to really move it back into the house, and we don't have a space to work in our workshop. So he built all this amazing storage for us in our workshop and reorganized everything, which is incredible, and made a space so that in the fall and winter and throughout the year, Sean will now have like a dedicated workspace and a space for his tractor and storage for other things, for his lawnmower and everything that he needs. Now there's a space for everything. Everything has a space, which is just so incredible. So we're so grateful for Bobby. He's been here and been a huge help. Look at the sheep. They watch everything he does because they know that they're getting to move into there. You good girl? Are you so happy? Are you the happiest dog? I figured I'd show you how Sean finishes this fence area. For anyone that was interested, like, how do you move those sheep every day without permanent fencing? So this is two 100-foot Premier One fences. As our flock gets bigger, we would definitely give them a bigger space every day. We actually have a plan for how we would like to redo our fencing situation so that it makes it a little easier for us to move them. The best friends right here. These, I can't do this with the phone. Gus and Maisie, besties. They're the best friends. So he lays it out and connects it where the other fence was. And then he's gonna set it all back up again. It doesn't have to be a perfect square in order to still cover your pasture and, you know, give really good fertilization and give them really good rotational grazing system. Like it's, and then you'll see that like he goes back and connects where the other two fences met, ties them together, and then he'll come out and set up all of his fences. So it's tied there, and then it's tied over here too. And then he'll come and set up this whole outside area. You can see the sheep are all waiting. They know what's going to happen. So when we have more time, a lot of times we'll set this up ahead of time, and part of our desire is to get more of these fencing systems so we can do it more ahead of time. So if we have some busy days, we can just move them, have it all set up beforehand on a day that maybe we have more time, and then just come out and do the actual moves. The moves don't take long. Meanwhile, these two. They were running behind me the other day, and I didn't see where they were going, and they just like barreled into the back of my legs and took me out. And then they realized they knocked over Mom, and they both came over. They were so apologetic. They was like, "I'm so sorry." Maisie's actually, she's the smallest, but she's top dog on everybody on the farm. She's the one that's in charge of everything. Did you get Gussie? It's good for them, and it helps keep, they always do better in pairs, but Gus, because of his leg thing, he stays a little closer to the house, and he helps watch over the chickens. So Boss goes in with the boy sheep, Maisie's in with the girls, and Gus is just a homebody. Like, unless he's wandering, he loves to be up with the people, and he watches over the chickens and does a really good job with that. So when they get a chance to play with each other, it's good for their mental stimulation and helps them to burn off a lot of steams, and it discourages them from doing all that chasing when it comes to the sheep. So, how you doing, handsome?
I'm good.
I'm gonna step on that.
I'm good. I'm good. A little bigger.
Yeah. They're so happy. Oh, Maisie. Want to put her in? Maisie.
Maisie! Come on, Maisie. Maisie.
Come on.
Maisie.
Oh, she's so distracted there. Come on, Maisie.
Good girl. You gonna watch the sheep? You gonna watch the sheep? That's good girl, Maisie.
Good girl.
Want to turn that off?
Oh, yeah. Can you... Hold on. Did you have fun? You had fun playing? Good boy. Okay, it's off. Ah, ah. Ah, ah. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Maisie. So now we'll just move the water in and their minerals, do the electric charger, and then they'll be all set. And we won't do this until tomorrow. Ah, 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 ah. Good girl. Sorry, Gus. Playtime's over. You got her all worked up. So one thing we've learned too is like we know that we're not perfect with everything that we do. Not everything is perfect. Like we feel like we need to like work even more on training the dogs. They're great dogs. but you don't have to do everything perfect to still do a good job and be successful and just begin. Like, we were coming from no knowledge at all, and then to go from that to everything that we've been able to learn in the last less than 2 years, year and 10 months, has been a lot. What do you feel like you've learned, I love?
A lot of farming.
A lot of farming.
A lot about the sheep and cows, how to move them, feed them, you know. A lot about the land, the grass.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn.
There is.
I have a lot of respect for our farmers, you know, and all the hard work that they do. They work really hard. So anyone that's like trying to make it seem like they don't.
It's a lot about just the business of growing grass, just to keep
Yes.
them fed.
Yes.
You know?
So you really have to learn a lot about your pasture, your land, how to grow what they need in each season, to help meet their nutritional needs. And it's been just you can see it be a lifetime of learning, you know. And these farmers work hard, really hard, to provide food for the country, to provide food for their families, and all their hard work can be taken out with the weather. You know, it's when the weather is really bad, or you're getting severe droughts or lots of rains and stuff, it can really, really affect their entire season. Or more than that, it can affect into the next year. It has a ripple effect. So a lot of these people have a very strong faith, because you realize there's just a lot that you don't have control over, that only God has control over. So it's been very eye-opening. It's taught us a lot. We feel so grateful for the opportunity to do this, and to be able to provide this for our family. But I guess I would say, for anyone that's thinking about homesteading, you know, don't think that it's going to be easy. Like, expect it's going to be a challenge. If you expect it's going to be a challenge, you'll have a lot more chance of success if you go into it knowing it's going to be hard work, and you're going to have unexpected things happen that you have to find solutions for. So that's a big thing. But I'm going to get these guys off to a picnic, and I'm going to get off to work, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Houdini, can you say have a wonderful day? Houdini is always everywhere. Yeah. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, and share to Full and Family Farm to follow the adventures of our family of 8 that moved cross country to the Missouri Ozarks and started a farm from the ground up. So have a great day.